Welcome to the Fervent Flourishing Life podcast. I'm Ashley Falconberry. Today has been a great day for me, and I hope that you're also having a good day. I want to start our episode today by talking about social media. Yes, I said social media. Social media has become a very hot topic these days because today we live in a world where millions of people spend hours on social media, and it's not just the youth. On average, people ages 25 to 40 spend between 2.5 and 3 hours each day on social media. How much time do you spend scrolling through Facebook, watching TikTok or YouTube videos, or using some other social media platform? Social media can be a great tool for connecting with friends and seeing some of what is going on in their lives. According to the Pew Research Center, social media can provide a sense of belonging and strengthen people's connections. I, for one, am thankful that I have social media because while I was living overseas on the other side of the world, it helped me to still feel a little connected to my friends and family back home. It also has helped me share with my friends and family about my life overseas and my ministry. Social media can also be a great tool for sharing the gospel and speaking truth into people's lives or learning new skills. On the other hand, social media can become a distraction from what's really important, even to the point that it becomes an addiction. Have you thought about how social media is affecting your spiritual, mental, and physical health? According to the World Health Organization, social media can increase anxiety and lead to depression. Social media can also lead to headaches and poor posture. According to a research article written by Katie Cross entitled #Thoughts and Prayer, A Theology of Social Media Crisis Interaction and Mental Health, in 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, noted some of the effects of social media, such as brain development, decreased satisfaction in life, addictions, and sleep issues. I like how an article by the Gospel Coalition described the effects of social media on our spiritual and mental health. In the article, the writer Ian Harbour said, "Social media acts as a spiritual and cognitive distortion machine that warps our view of reality and bends our will away from God. It's the systematic, corporately incentivized inversion of Romans 12:1-2. Instead of our minds being renewed by the Spirit of Christ, they're shaped by algorithmically curated delivery of the particular patterns of the world that best play to our unsanctified desires. They beckon us into conformity with the world by drawing our hearts and minds away from God." Wow, that's so true. Social media fuels our earthly desires and leads us to compare ourselves and our life with other people. It leaves us unsatisfied and wanting more, which can lead us to use social media even more and even become addicted to it. Moreover, social media shifts our focus to the things of the flesh instead of the things of the Spirit. Romans 8:5-6 says, "For those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh, but those who live according to the Spirit set their minds on the things of the Spirit. For to set the mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the Spirit is life and peace. For the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God, for it does not submit to God's law. Indeed, it cannot. Those who are in the flesh cannot please God." Social media is not how we should try to find satisfaction in our life. The Bible talks about filling our cup, and when our cup is filled with the wrong things, it can hinder us from experiencing true biblical flourishing and cause us to miss out on so many blessings from the Lord. So for the remainder of our time together today, I want to share with you about what we should fill our cup with. This podcast is intended for educational purposes only. I am not a licensed mental health professional, and this podcast should not be a replacement for help from a licensed mental health professional. What is your cup filled with? Everyone's cup is filled with something. Some people are trying to fill their cup with earthly treasures like money, possessions, social media likes and followers, and relationships, even addictions like alcohol and cigarettes. But when you try to fill your cup with earthly treasures and desires, you will never be satisfied. Your cup will always run dry. When I was younger, I would have been quick to answer this question with the Holy Spirit or living water, as Jesus talks about in John 4 when he approached the Samaritan woman, because I'm a Christian, and that's the church answer to give. But as I have been preparing for today's episode and reflecting on my own life, back then, I don't think I fully understood what it means to fill my cup. And I wasn't fully aware of the things in my life that I was trying to fill my cup with. I was putting so much effort into trying to fill my cup in my own strength with the wrong things that I would exhaust myself and not have anything else to give. But Matthew 6:19-21 says, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." I have a great relationship with God, and I invest in my relationship with Him and trust Him. But looking back at my life, I realized that I wasn't investing in my relationship with God in the way that I needed to. Instead, most of my life, I have been trying to fill my cup with earthly desires, and I was never satisfied, which only led me to keep trying over and over to fill my cup, instead of relying more on God to fill my cup for me. If it weren't for the work of the Lord in my life the last few years, teaching me how to renew my mind and rely on Him more, I think I would still be trying to fill my cup with earthly desires. For me, the biggest thing that I've tried to fill my cup with is earthly relationships. Throughout my life, I've been rejected a lot, especially when I was younger. I've even written songs about it. And that rejection led me to desire relationships with people more and for people to accept me. I really wanted people to care about me and love me. Many times I would invest in relationships so much, trying to get people to accept me and care about me. And many times those relationships would eventually end, and I was left hurt, tired, and unsatisfied. That experience is part of what previously led to my anxiety, negative thought cycles, poor self-image, and a lack of peace and contentment in my life. But through learning how to focus on God more, God has helped me to truly understand that my strength and sufficiency can only come from Him. I now truly believe what 2 Corinthians 9:8 says when it says, "And God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that having all sufficiency in all things at all times, you may abound in every good work." And for the first time in my life, I truly feel at peace and content with my life. And I believe that even when trials come into my life in the coming days, I will be able to remain at peace and content because my strength and sufficiency are from God, not from myself. 2 Corinthians 12:9-10 says, "But He said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong. That has become one of my favorite passages in recent years. I just love how powerful that passage is. God is the only one who can fill your cup and bring you satisfaction. Psalm 23:5 says, "My cup overflows." God is the only one who can make your cup overflow and never run dry. I also love what 2 Corinthians 3:5 says. Not that we are sufficient in ourselves to claim anything as coming from us, but our sufficiency is from God. When you try to fill your cup in your own strength with earthly desires and treasures, it will never be enough. You will continue to have discontentment in your life and be unsatisfied. Biblical contentment is a peace and satisfaction that is rooted in trusting God and believing in God's sufficiency. And I honestly believe that you cannot truly be content without first having a relationship with God. Because without God, you will never have peace or be satisfied in your life. It is so important for you to let God fill your cup for you and stop trying to fill your cup in your own strength. Because when your cup is not filled by God, it is harder to give of yourself to others. God calls us to love our neighbors as ourselves, to serve others the way that Jesus served people, and to share the gospel and be a witness so that others can receive salvation and become a part of the family of God. But when our cup is not filled with the right thing, we become focused on ourself and serving ourself instead of giving of ourself to serve others and to show God's love to others. So again, I ask you, what is filling your cup? Are you trying to fill your cup in your own strength, or are you allowing God to fill your cup for you? And do you truly have peace and contentment in your life? As we close our time together today, as always, I encourage you to spend some time reflecting on these questions and spend some time in prayer. Maybe today you realized that you are trying to fill your own cup. Or maybe you realized that you do not have peace and contentment in your life. Maybe you're listening today and you do not have a relationship with the Lord. But please know that whoever you are, I am praying for you. If you enjoyed today's content, you can subscribe to my podcast. If you do subscribe to my podcast, you may have to set up an alert to get reminders of coming episodes, depending on which platform you're using. You can also follow my ministry on Instagram at Fervent Flourishing Life, and I will post updates about future episodes. You can learn more about my ministry by going to my website, ferventflourishinglife.com. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you.